All right, today we're going to do a video on hand review from the Thursday night Raleigh Bridge Club. This is July 9th's hands. They were the common game hands. And the screen I'm sharing with you right now, the tabs I have open for reviewing a game like this and making a video. So we've got the Bridge Base Online tab open. We've got the Raleigh Bridge Club results tab open. You can see that Randy and Kay had a very nice game. Audrey and Henry had an even better game at 69%. So those were our winners. We can use this screen here to look at any of the boards to see what the traveling scores were. So we might use that later on. Here's the common game results. So this is just the commongame.com. Again, I've mentioned that a lot of clubs play these same hands and then compile all the results. So you can see that Randy and Kay last night were third overall of all the participating clubs. You can see that 30 clubs participated. There were 220 pairs that sat north-south. So third out of 220 is pretty impressive. And Audrey Henry were fifth out of 206 east-west pairs. So we had some really nice games last night. I think if we scroll down just a little bit, we're going to see Bob White and Glenn Anderson coming in at 13th. So yeah, some nice performances by some of our pairs last night. The other useful thing about the common game, I'm going to show you how to import the hands into BBO to use on a teaching table to make a video like this. All right, so let's go ahead and do, one more tab. I've got Bridge World open here, just to the Bridge World 2017 standard, because I had something that I wanted to look up just as a sanity check. In particular, it was what should a one no trump advance of a one level overcall look like. And here we actually go down to section CE, I found it. And it says shows 8 to 11 support a stopper and opener suit, regardless of vulnerability in suit open. Two no trump is similar, blah, blah, blah. And we'll talk about a hand where I wanted to double check that information later on when we're doing our hand review. So let's go to the common game, and you'll see at the top that you can, oh, by the way, I'm getting here by, let's see if I can show you how to navigate to this. So this is the commongame.com. You could go here in the upper right and type in your ACBL number, hit login. It actually gives you like a bunch of cool stats and results and stuff about the games you've recently played. Like here's the list of common games I've recently played. And you can click on this FRA thing, I think. Yeah, and it gives you neat stuff like extra tricks on lead, extra tricks on as dummy, what the field percentage was, and what your score at your actual club was. So that's kind of neat. We go back to here. So that's what you get if you log in using your player number. But all I want to do here is find the hands from last night. So on the upper left, I'm going to go to night. And I'm going to go to archived common game here and click on yesterday's date. And that is how I navigated to the original screen that I showed you. All right, so we want these hands to go into BBO, and the file type we use for that is lin. So all I'm going to do is click on lin here, and it's going to save the hand record in a format that BBO can read easily. So now if I go over to Bridge Base Online and I go to my account, deal archive, and I make a new folder. Let's see, how do I make a new folder? What if I do that? Yeah, that looks like a good way to make a new folder. I edit it, call it RBC, July 9. Save that. Okay, I think that gets us that now. Okay, cool. And then we click on the folder, import lin file, and we just choose the file that we just threw down here from the common game site. Okay, so it's import, oh, excuse me, choose file first. And right there, my downloads. Let's try this one more time. Please review the source file and try again. Okay, I just had to click the import button. So now what's going to happen is when we go to set up a teaching table, I'm just going to slide these things over so I don't get bothered while making the video. I'm going to sit down at all these seat positions so we can talk about how the hands can be bid. And go to options deal source. Use save deals from the RBC July 9th, that folder we just created. With any luck, when we get a redeal, this is going to start showing us the hands from last night. And that does look like hand one. Okay, so that's what my process looks like, what tabs I would have open when I'm preparing to do a video like this. I've made some notes about themes for all the hands from last night, and without further ado, let's get to bidding them and talking about the themes that passed up, or that came up. So, board one, my note is to review defense to weak no trump. There are enough people playing weak no trump, especially at the RBC, that you want to understand how to defend against it. One of the very first videos I made actually talked about this a good bit. I think it was a Wednesday Zoom. But let's go back to it because this situation came up for us last night. And I'll show you another reason we're going to use the common game as a resource here in our analysis of the deals. So my partner and I were sitting north-south, and we were playing a weak no trump. So north has 12 balanced. And you type into the box here, 11 to 14. It's going to go pass, pass, right? So the first thing I said was, when you're defending against a weak no trump, you need to be able to balance, you need to be able to double with good hands. Good hand would probably be something like 15 plus. Okay, so this west hand is certainly a prototypical double of weak no trump. You have 17 balanced, and the idea is just to double. And this says, partner, I have a good hand, 15 plus. It went pass. And the important thing that maybe got glossed over the first time we talked about this, I don't know about glossed over, but just people don't think enough about this side of, like, what do you do now once your partner doubles? Really, you're going to be sitting for this double a lot of the time. And if you'll look at the north-south hands here, they are in big trouble. Okay, they can't make anything. And when I say they can't make anything, we can check that supposition by going to the common game, right, and looking at the hand record for board one. One of the tools they have here at the bottom of the hand diagram is who can make what. And you'll notice, like, north-south can't make anything. They can't make one no trump. Their best fit would be in hearts. Like, they can't make a heart. You'll even notice the east-west can make 2 hearts, and east can make 3 no trump, and west can make 4 no trump. So north-south here in 1 no trump, they are already in the stew. Okay, they have no way to recover any of the match points if east-west just doubles whatever they want to bid. So back to this idea. There's only one reason why you should bid as a responder to this double. And that would be if you had fewer than 6 or 7 points and you had shape. Okay, so there are 2 times that you're going to be sitting for the double of 1 no trump. You're going to be sitting anytime you have a balanced hand. Like, even if you've only got a couple of points, the best idea with a balanced hand is to sit for this double and hope that partner can, beat it with the stuff that's in their hand. In other words, it's a better gamble for us to defend against 1 no trump doubled than to try and guess what to bid of our own at the 2 level when we're balanced. Okay, and you're going to be scared with like a 2 or 3 point hand that's flat, but double is your passing the double is your percentage action. The only hands that you're going to be running with are when you're weak and you've got some shape. Okay, so if we have shape with high card points, we can just sit and try and beat one no trump doubled with our length. And if we have a balanced hand, even a crummy balanced hand, the idea is to sit. So only running when we're both weak and we have a long suit. You'll notice that those 2 conditions aren't satisfied here. East has an 8 count and doesn't particularly have, a bunch of shape. There's no 5-card suit to it. So by far the best thing you can do is pass and watch the opponent squirm and just double whatever they get to, right? So if they play 1 no trump doubled, it's a misery. If they get to 2 hearts doubled, that's also a misery. Like East-West can make 2 hearts. Any of this stuff is going down 3, which is the magic number here because doubling them and beating them 3 is 100, 300, 500, which more than compensates for the 400 we're going to score if we bid and make a game East-West. Okay, so anyway, just wanted to review. You need the double to be 15 plus points, and advancer of the double should be passing and just beating 1 no trump or beating whatever they run out to on most of their hands. The only time you run is when you are both shapely and weak, and this East hand should just sit for the double. All right. Board 2, I have down to talk about giving yourself 2 ways to win. That's kind of a big concept in bridge. So East has a 2 no trump opener. It's 21 balanced. Our range for 2 no trump openings is 20 to 21, right? We have a 4-4-3-2 shape that's certainly balanced. It goes pass. South has a pretty reasonable hand here, but absolutely crazy to get into this auction at this vulnerability with 20 friends sitting on your right. So West has a problem that people in the field solved in different ways. Well, one idea is that you could pass, and that sort of looks like it might be right on values. Like you have 3. It's a really, really nice 3 because you have a 5-card suit, you have the good interiors. And if partner can figure out a way to get to your hand, like maybe the club suit's just running, maybe he's got ace king third. Maybe it turns out that he's got something like 4 spades and the 8 of spades ends up being an entry, like on this actual deal. It's possible that you could be providing a fair amount of tricks in no trump. I would love to play spades if partner's got 4 spades. Okay, so even though it feels like it's a little bit light, what I'm going to do with this hand is bid Stamen and give myself 2 ways to win. Okay, and the 2 ways to win are partner could bid 3 spades, and now I've got that singleton heart, which looks excellent for a suit contract, and I can bid 4 spades. We get to the right contract that way. That's one way to win. The other way to win is even if partner doesn't have spades with you, all right, you're going to commit to 3 no trump now. Like if partner bids 3 hearts, you're just going to have to bid 3 no trump and hope for the best. That's the other way it could win. 3 no trump could be a maker here. All right. Your other option is to just pass on this deal, and perhaps that's what feels the safest, like from a value standpoint. But if we think about the game in terms of equity, in terms of taking calculated risks, in terms of loading the dice in our favor, if you pass here, what you are logically saying is that I'm going to put all my eggs in the basket that 2 no trump is our best contract from here on out. I'm going to give up on 3 no trump making. I'm going to give up on partner having spades, and I'm going to put, all my chips on 2 no trump being the correct place to play. So I hope that's somewhat convincing logic for you that when you got these close decisions, which this one is, whether to pass or to go ahead and bid Stamen and know that if partner doesn't have spades, you might be overboard. The idea is to give yourself more than one way to get a good score on the board. All right, so I would be bidding 3 clubs. 3 clubs. Partner bids 3 spades. And then I bid 4 spades on the back end. Oh, yeah, there's one other thing I want to talk about here. I want you to notice how much better a contract this is played from the east side, where north-south can't attack the diamond position immediately. So in other words, if you pretended that west was declaring 4 spades, this hand is going down, okay, because north can just lead a diamond through the king 9/4, and eventually north-south come to 3 diamond tricks and a trump trick and a club trick. We're down 2, I believe. Do they still get their club trick? Yeah, they still get the club trick. If we go to the common game, let's see what its double dummy thinks. Yeah, check this out. East can make 4 spades, and West can make 2 spades. All right, and the reason that's true is because we can't attack that king of diamonds at trick 1. So in South's on lead, the play is going to go, they're probably going to lead a heart, I guess. And the play is going to go, we lay down the ace of clubs, we play a club towards the dummy. South wins that, still can't attack diamonds. And by the time we get to the defense being able to attack diamonds, it's North roughing the 5th round of clubs, at which point East has already pitched enough diamonds that he can't be beaten. Anyway, the theme is normally we want to have the lead coming into the big hand for 2 different reasons. First of all, if they lead away from something, it's more likely that the lead is coming into a tennis position. And second of all, just from a pure timing standpoint, like north-south, to beat this contract, needs the timing advantage of being able to lead a diamond through the king immediately, which we deny them if we make East the declarer here. So keep in mind that that's another reason why we are using transfer bids over 1-no and 2-no, is in an effort to protect the big hand. All right, board 3. All right, this one went 1 diamond, I hope. It's a little bit light, but you've got a great suit. You've got a lead director. Light initial action is a winning tactic. And you've got the vulnerability in your favor. Just everything points to opening this hand 1 diamond, and I think most of the field did. West has a very standard 1 spade overcall. Now, this is interesting because it turns out East-West can actually make 2 spades on the deal. I think if we go to the common game and go to board 3, let's see what East-West can make. Yeah, East-West can make 2 spades. The reason I bring this up is, as North, I think what my plan on this would be is to defend against spades if that's at all possible. And the way that we do that, like we can't use double here to say that, because double's takeout. Double's negative. Double shows hearts. Remember, it's like the invisible 1 heart bid. So the idea when you want to defend on a hand like this and you've got a trump stack of theirs is that you pass, and if partner can make a reopening double on the back end, you just sit for the double and hope to beat it. On this hand, it's not going to be a successful strategy, but that's one option. And the East hand is actually what made me consult Bridge World for the definition of a 1-no trump advance of partner's 1 level overcall. Remember, they said 8 to 10 points and a stopper in the opponent's suit. I'm not wild about bidding with the East hand here. I don't have a stopper in their suit exactly. I mean, I've got 10-4. That's like sort of kind of a stopper. But the other thing is, like, I don't have a fit for my partner, and I sort of just don't love encouraging further bidding with this. And for the same reason, I don't want to bid 2 clubs here and get us a level higher. And since I'm not a passed hand, sell the idea that maybe I've got a better hand than this. So I think a lot of people bid one no trump. A lot of people bid two clubs. I wouldn't say that those are wrong exactly, but it feels to me like maybe pass is the right idea. Okay, just kind of under the idea of when we can sniff out that a misfit might be going on, perhaps it's best just to stop the bidding before we get overcommitted. So I believe I'm passing, and that'll facilitate our point of South should balance with a double, which is takeout, and you're protecting your partner here. You know that your partner might have a big hand with a trap pass of one spade, and that's one of the things you're doing by doubling here. Also, just like anytime the auction's about to die at a low level, at the 1 or 2 level, and you're short in their suit, it probably can't be too wrong to double. And North would follow through on the plan here and just sit for the pass of one spade doubled. That's how you, in essence, make a penalty double of one spade when you're sitting with that North hand. And like we saw, this double of one spade is not going to turn out well as it sits. But this is an auction you could have. Board 4 is opening light again. I'm a pretty big believer in opening the North hand one diamond. It's 11 balanced. You have a 5-card suit, but you are getting to bid where you live. You are bidding your ace, king, queen, jack, 5th suit, and you're following the principle of it's easier if we get our bids in first. If we get the first lick in, that's a tactical advantage. So I would be opening this hand at diamond. East has some huge hand here. Probably going to start with double. One heart looks normal. And we go pass. One heart is forcing. Okay, so we're just going to rebid one no trump. I think at this point I would bid 2 spades as East. Sell the idea that I have a huge hand with spades, right? That's partner's going to know that because I didn't just overcall one spade the first time I doubled, and now I'm bidding 2 spades. So he's going to figure out, hey, I've got some huge hand with spades. And honestly, like that might be the end of the auction. And East West just happens to run both the spade suit and the club suit for plus 170, and a pretty good score here. If North South were to compete to 3 diamonds, East West might get pushed up a level higher. What can North South make here in diamonds? They can make 3 diamonds, and as we saw, East West can make 4 of either black suit. All right. Also, I saw a lot of people. Let's see what the results are here. Yeah, I saw a lot of people selling out to 3 diamonds on this hand. I don't think that's ever really going to be right when you've got this much offense in terms of your 2 black suits. Okay, so I think we're always getting to either 3 spades or 4 clubs or 4 spades, something like that with a hand that's this shapely. Deal 5. Oh, a lot of good stuff to talk about on deal 5. So let's talk about the auction first. North has a gigantic hand, right? It's 3.5 losers. You have a half a loser in diamonds, a loser in hearts, and 2 losers in spades. So we're going to start with a diamond, definitely with the intent to reverse into hearts. Okay, this is just a gigantic offensive hand. Oh, while we're doing this, on your settings, when I play like the RBC, I turn on these confirm bids and confirm cards options just to make sure that I don't, fat finger or misclick or something, because there's really no recovering from that. And also, I always turn off this autoplay singletons option. Autoplay singletons drives me nuts, right? Because now the singletons just get played like that, and everybody at the table, if they're paying attention, can figure out what's going on. So them even having this option does not sit well with me. But the reason I bring this all up is we're going to turn these options off for right now. so that we don't have to double click all the time while we're doing a video. Okay, back to this. One diamond, pass. And South bids one heart. 100%, 100%. Don't pass with this on the reasoning that you've only got 4 points. That's loser thinking. West would probably chip in a one spade call, right? A pretty good suit that they can bid at the one level, or white against red. They have the boss suit. This all looks like the right idea to me. Now, what do we do with North's hand? Like, let's think about what if West hadn't bid a spade? What if West had just passed? What would our bid be? And I think the answer is we can make use of a specialized bid here, which would be 4 diamonds. So in an auction like this, a diamond, a heart, we could rebid 4 diamonds, and it has this special meaning. Partner, I have a very good hand, right? Because I'm committing to the 4 level, opposite you responding on a 4 count. And what I have is 6 of my minor and 4 of your major. All right, so 4 diamonds would actually describe a raise to 4 hearts of the flavor, 6 of your open to minor, 4 of the major that partners responded in, and a very good hand. So I think this probably qualifies as a 4 diamond bid here. And we could even use it with the 1 spade bid, I believe. Like, there's no reason that 4 diamonds can't still be the same thing. If we wanted to be super forthcoming to the opponents, we could type in 6 diamonds, 4 hearts, big hand, I don't know, something like that. Right, that's what 4 diamonds would mean here. Keep in mind, like, that 4 diamond bid, even if you didn't know this little trick or little rebid, like, it can't be anything else. Like, it's not being used for anything else. You've certainly got enough power to raise to 4 hearts. Might as well make an aggressive, or not an aggressive, a descriptive call that lets your partner know what exactly you're raising to 4 hearts on the merits of. Right, and this would probably go 4 spades by East. Certainly on this vulnerability, if the opponents are committed to 4 hearts, I'm bidding 4 spades. And now we get into this concept of something I've talked about before, which is forcing pass. Sometimes we're going to need pass to not mean literally I want to defend 4 spades undoubled. We're going to want it to mean I don't know what's right between bidding on to 5 hearts or stopping and doubling them in 4 spades. A part of the premise is if we commit to 4 hearts, vulnerable against not vulnerable, which we've done in this auction via the 4 diamond bid, we never let them play 4 spades undoubled. Therefore, our passes are used to help with the decision of whether to double them or whether to bid on with our own suit at the 5 level. Okay. So if I'm South and I picture my partner with 6 diamonds and 4 hearts in some huge hand, what's the idea here against 4 spades? Like, I feel like I've got some defensive stuff and some offensive stuff. I'm worried about the 2 small spades in case partner has 2 small spades, and basically we just need every trick outside of the spade suit if we bid onto the 5 level. My default action as north-south here should probably be just to double them in 4 spades rather than bidding onto the 5 level. That would certainly go for deals where there's less shape than this. On this deal, we've got, quite a bit of shape. So I don't know. I feel like this one is close between pass and bidding 5 hearts. And these high-level decisions are not something I'm really, honestly, all that great at, but this is the kind of thought process that you would be going through. And if you get to the point that logically it makes sense that we never defend 4 spades undoubled here, that's kind of what I want to get at here. That's what I want your takeaway to be. Okay. So let's go down two possible roads here. One road would be we pass, and remember this is a forcing pass, and you're saying, partner, I want you to make the final decision about what to do. And as North here, I think I would just double, having described my hand already, and I have that doubleton spade still that I'm worried about. I think I would just double, okay? And we would play four spades doubled. Now for a second, let's notice that if North-South is allowed to play five hearts, they have all the tricks except for the two spade losers. So why that's important is North-South has equity of 650 points on this deal. Like if they were allowed to play four hearts unmolested, or if they guessed to bid on to five hearts, they've got 650 coming. And we can confirm this again with the common game. If we go to board 5, you'll notice that North-South can make five hearts. So what that means is if we choose to double four spades instead, we need to beat this four tricks in order to get 800, which will compensate us for the 650 that we have passed on by not bidding five hearts or being allowed to play four hearts, which these nasty opponents didn't let us do. So let's look at the tricks that we've got against four spades doubled. And I'll let you cheat here and just actually look at all the cards for a second. What are our tricks against four spades doubled? Well, I see the ace king of diamonds is 2. The ace of hearts is 3. Okay, so that's book. The ace of clubs is down 1. And our other tricks need to come from a diamond ruff in the south hand, would be down 2. And we actually need 2 club ruffs in the north hand to get to 4. So these are the tricks that we're hoping to score. Ace of hearts, ace of clubs, 2 club ruffs in the north hand, that's 4. Ace king of diamonds is 6, and a diamond ruff in the south hand is 7 tricks, which would be down 4 for 800. And it's important that we get all 7 of those tricks if we can, because we need to make up for that 650 that we sacrificed by not bidding 5 hearts. Here's a defense that could lead to down 4, and it's pretty reasonable. And we're going to make use of our suit preference signal here. All right, so ace of diamonds, totally normal lead, right? And let's say at this point that North takes a look at the dummy, kind of is able to predict that he wants club ruffs, and the next thing he might do is lay down the ace of clubs. Now, when the king queen third is in the dummy and partner lays down the ace of clubs at this point, there should be alarm bells that this ace is singleton. Okay, partner said he had a huge hand. He said he had 6 diamonds and 4 hearts. He decided to double 4 spades rather than bidding on to 5 hearts. That's kind of consistent with, or at least more consistent with, having doubleton spade and a singleton club as your 3 non-red cards. Okay, so everything here is pointing towards this ace of clubs being a singleton. And if partner's leading a singleton, one of the things he must be interested in is getting a ruff. Okay, and he actually needs 2 ruffs on this deal. If partner needs a ruff, what's he need in our hand? He needs an entry. We should tell him where that entry is. And what I suggest you would do with this is actually play the 10 of clubs to suggest that you have either the ace king of hearts. Okay, you've got a big heart. You're playing a high card to show in a situation where you don't need your clubs, like for trick-taking purposes, to show that you have an interest in the higher ranking side suit. Okay, and why this is important is because we can predict that it's very likely partner has ace fourth of hearts and is going to be scared to underlead the ace of hearts in an effort to get to your hand, if you don't reassure him that it's okay to do that. So that's what we're trying to accomplish with the 10 of clubs here. Okay, so partner goes back to the diamond thing and gives you a rough. And again, we can go ahead and, make it loud here. Play the 9 of hearts to let partner know it's safe. And partner gives his own suit preference here by playing the deuce of diamonds for you to rough. So this is more like very, very loud, I want a club returned from you. You know that he's got the choice of multiple diamonds. You know that none of them matter one bit as far as winning tricks. Therefore, the 2 is suit preference. So low spot card for the lower of the suits to return. And here we can give partner one more reassurance that we have a big heart by returning a club. So that's our first rough in partner's hand. And now as North, you need to have trust in your partner that it's safe to underlead to his king of hearts. And at this point, if you're South and partner has perpetrated this defense, you got to feel pretty like proud and warm and shiny that all this communication worked. Like this is the big payoff in playing bridge, is a defense like this, where partner trusts what's going on. You communicate to each other something pretty subtle, and then you give partner this last rough. No, I don't want to leave the seat. You give partner the last rough for down 4 and 800 instead of 650 for a top board. This is the big payoff in bridge as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, check out suit preference over and over and over on that hand. All right, let's go to board 6. Four club bid I have here. I wonder what that is. Okay, let's go through an auction. Oh, it's the same idea. It goes past a club, and let's say that West bids a heart here. Let's say that's what happens. North could make a negative double. This shows, as most people play it, precisely 4 spades and enough to respond on. And East, I don't know if you should raise hearts with this or not. Vulnerable against white. To make this point easier, let's say the East passes, which I don't think is out of bounds with a flat 3 count. And again, you're red against white. This auction is the same, basically, as if the auction had gone 1 club past 1 spade, except we have a little extra information in that partner has precisely 4 spades instead of 4 plus spades. That double is like an invisible 1 spade bid. So what we can do is similar to the previous hand where North rebid 4 diamonds to show a big hand with diamonds and hearts. We can bid 4 clubs here. Same idea. We're rebidding our minor at the 4 level to show partner that we have a raise to 4 spades on power, but the flavor, like what's allowing us to do that, is that we have a huge 6-4 hand. And so we can do that, and partner could, Wes is probably going to chip in 4 diamonds here, honestly. Why am I bidding hearts before diamonds? I don't know. The heart suit's really, really, really good, and it seemed at that point like 4 hearts was our most likely game. So that's what justified it in my mind. If you wanted to overcall a diamond and then bid hearts a couple of times, there's nothing wrong with that. 4 diamonds. North-South should eventually be bidding 4 spades and ascertaining that they don't have, or that they are off 2 quick tricks in the heart suit, right? So this could go like, again, we're in the situation where we know that we're committed to 4 spades or doubling them, right? So we could kind of just pass here to say, not exactly sure what to do. What do you think? East could bid 4 hearts. South could, again, maybe double, having shown the 6-4 hand to suggest defense. You could do that. You could pass, and you guys would play 4 spades. What does double do for us here? If we play the deal in spades, we are going to lose 2 hearts, and we get everything else, right? Yep. So we are going to be making 450 there. If we decide to defend 4 hearts doubled, the best defense would be ace of diamonds, diamond rough, club to north, again with the idea that we would be under leading to partner's queen, and he would be able to give us another diamond rough. So that's 1, 2, 3. Club is 4, and a spade is 5 for down 2 for 500. Let's check that. Do a sanity check here. Yep, east-west can make 2 hearts, which means they would be down 1 at 4 hearts if they happen to be there. Anyway, back-to-back hands where we get to see that idea of rebidding 4 of our minor to show this type of hand. Board 7. Oh. This one is a hold-up play. Okay, I think probably everyone's pretty comfortable with this, but let's see why this works. My partner played 1 no trump, I believe. This wasn't exactly our auction, but this is sort of what our auction meant. Excuse me. Just went pass, pass. We were actually playing a weak no trump, so this isn't exactly the auction we had. But if you're playing a 15 to 17, just going to go 1 no trump, pass, pass, pass. East is going to lead a 4th best spade. And the idea is you want to, as North, if we're counting our tricks, again, it's 1 spade, 2 hearts, eventually either 3 or 4 clubs, depending on where the king of clubs is, and 1 or 2 dots. But one thing we definitely want to do, okay, so the right idea is 3rd hand high, but lowest of equals. We want to duck these spades once, twice. He should actually overtake here because they can afford to, just in case that queen was singleton, right? We have the spots with the 10 and the 8 to such that we know it's safe to overtake, right? So we can power this out. Guess we pitch a diamond from the dummy. And when we go to attack the club suit, so that's one trick for the offense. When we go to attack the club suit and our right-hand opponent wins the king, there's no communication left for the defense to get to their spade tricks, right? At this point, we're actually going to come to the rest of the tricks. We can take 2 diamonds via the diamond finesse. We can take 3 clubs on power, and we can take 4 hearts with the queen third in the pocket. So we've got the rest of the tricks at this point, but it only works if we use that hold-up play. Eight. Pass, pass. 1 diamond looks normal. South is very close between overcalling 1 spade or doubling and then bidding spades. I decided to just overcall 1 spade because of the 5-3-3-2 nature of the hand. I wanted to treat this as a maximum 1 spade overcall rather than treating it as a minimum double and then bid spades. And we got to 4 spades. I don't think there was anything hugely interesting on this board, so we're moving on. 9. I'm actually okay with opening this north hand with a weak 2 in spades. Your spades are so much better than your hearts. You are in first seat. You are not vulnerable versus vulnerable. You have a reasonable offense to defense ratio. So if you want to open 2 spades with this and give up on the hearts, I think there's enough going for it that that would be a good idea. Notice that I'm trying to reason through that rather than following a nursery rhyme like, so-and-so told me that you never do such and such with a 4 card, right? That nursery rhymes are not for playing bridge. Let's say it goes 2 spades. See what's going to happen here. I think West is going to re-up with a takeout double. And East would probably just sit here and try to beat 2 spades. I think that's the auction 4 of me would have. Board 9. We have a 10 count that passes and pass, and a spade, and 2 diamonds here. It's actually not such a crazy idea to bid 3 diamonds on this. I know you don't have preemptive, but once your partner can't open as south, your jump over calls can become much wider because you don't have to worry about missing a game anymore. Like if partner weren't a passed hand, one of the reasons we wouldn't be bidding 3 diamonds with the north hand is because we could still easily have enough stuff for game, and we don't want to sell the idea to partner that our hand is preemptive. When partner's a passed hand, we don't have to worry about that so much anymore. Okay. And East-West eventually get to 4 spades on this, which, oh, here's something to talk about since I saw this happen in a lot of tables. East bid 3 diamonds. That's great. That's like a maximum passed hand with support for spades. And usually it went pass, although I'm kind of tempted to bid 4 diamonds with the south hand, if not 5. West here, I think, should go ahead and accept this invitation. And we're using loser count on this. We're not using points. We're using shape, which is consistent with loser count. 3 clubs, a diamond, half a heart is 4.5 so far. And we have 1.5 in spades is 6. This is a hand that's worth a trick more than a minimum opening hand. And if we can trust partner to really have a sound 3 diamond call here, in other words, they've got like a maximum passed hand. Maybe they've got a 4th trump. They've actually got both of those here. If we can trust our partners to keep in mind that we don't have to bid thin games at match points, that means when we issue invites, they're sound. And we can go ahead and accept with hands like the West hand and bid 4 spades here. And you'll notice this is a pretty good contract. Like, forget whether or not it actually makes. Let's talk about what would happen in theory. In theory, we lose a diamond and we lose a heart half the time, just based on where the queen is. And we lose a club half the time, just based on where the king is. And the spade suit's a little more complicated because we don't have the 10. But we've got something like, I don't know, 3/4 of a spade loser. So really, there's a lot of different ways that, or thinking about it a different way, a lot of things would have to go wrong for 4 spades to go down here. So it's definitely worth bidding. If we look at how 4 spades scored. Oh, let's go to this since I decided to bring it up. What board are we on? We're on 10. 4 spades making was worth 10.5 out of 13 match points. 3 spades making 4 was worth 5 out of 13 match points. So this was actually one of those boards where, you know, you're going to get a higher premium than you maybe normally would for bidding a game here versus staying in a part score. So yeah, accept the invite on that. Keep in mind the invitation should be sound at pair scoring because why? Because we don't need to bid thin games. This one was a heart, and it went double, and my partner basically did the equivalent of bidding 3 hearts, and they bid 3 spades, and that was the end of the auction. Nothing too interesting there. Moving on to 12. This is just going to go a heart, pass, 2 hearts. I decided to do what's called pre-balancing here and made a takeout double. I'm the one who's short in hearts. I know it's a bad idea to let them play 2 hearts. There's probably some people who would say this is too light. I'm always not 100% sure how calibrated I am. But anyway, that's what I was thinking and making the double here. It's called a pre-balance because you're not technically in the balancing seat, but you're the one who's responsible for taking action if it's merited because you're short in their trump suit. And it would just go 4 hearts. That would be the end of the auction. We're speeding up a little bit here because I've taken so much time on the first 8 or so hands. And really, the first hands were kind of more interesting. Now, here's a good one. We had this auction, a club, pass, a heart. Remember that responders' new suits at the 1 level are 100% forcing, so you don't have to feel like you need to do something any more exciting than just bid 1 heart here. And with 2 4-card majors, we're bidding them up the line. We're bidding hearts first. North has no choice but to rebid 2 clubs. You can't bid 2 diamonds because that would be a reverse, and you certainly don't have reverse strength. So 2 clubs is the bid. Now, what should South do? South has an 18 count, and they're facing a partner whose range should be an unbalanced hand with clubs, probably at least 6 of them. Maybe they have 5 in an awkward shape, but probably 6. And their range is something like minimum up to, I don't know, 15, 16, somewhere in that. Point being, I have some really good cards for a 6 club slam, potentially. Or maybe we just want to be bidding no trump. You know, particularly if we're not going to be bidding slam, I'd like to be in 3 no trump instead of 5 clubs for sure. And I was able to just bid 4 no trump here. This is not key card for clubs in this particular partnership, because we would use a bid of 4 diamonds, something called kickback. That would be the way we would ask for key cards in clubs. I was able to just bid 4 no in this auction and have it be quantitative. It's invitational. And partner decided he didn't have significant extras and passed. And a squeeze came up. Okay. They led the jack of diamonds. So let's go to our double dummy here. You'll notice that any of these non-ace of diamonds leads turn the hand into a making 7. It's 3 over tricks, right? So let's show you how this squeeze worked. And I actually did pull this off for plus 720 and only lost to 1 pair. I believe there was a pair who did bid 6 clubs on this. What hand are we on now? 13. Yeah, there was 1 6 clubs, and then there was us playing 4 no trump, making all the tricks for, you know, a good result. Here's how the squeeze would work. They led the jack of diamonds, and I counted my tricks. If clubs behave, it's 6. Hearts are 4. Spades are 1. And we have 1 diamond trick here. And if they don't play the ace, we've actually got the ingredients set up for a squeeze, okay? Because we would have 12 and they would have 0. And this is assuming the clubs are going to run. But I'm willing to gamble at pair scoring that the club suit is probably running when I'm doing my trick estimate here. Okay, so it went small, small. I won the king. And we need to end up in the dummy after we've run all our winners with the cards being, the last 2 cards being the queen of diamonds and the 8 of spades. And in our own hand, we are going to bear down to the ace jack of spades. What's going to happen is West isn't going to be able to keep the ace of diamonds and the king queen of spades. Okay, but what we need to do first is cash our heart suit. So we cashed hearts. And again, this is just count your tricks. Realize that we get to the magic number of 12 and sort of just run your winners, right? So we can go ahead and pitch diamonds. We don't need those anymore. He doesn't need that. So now, when we cash out our club suit, the only thing in the world we are bothered with, we're not bothered with the opponent's discards, none of that. That's all noise, that's all garbage. You just keep your eyes peeled for the ace of diamonds, right? We won the king at trick one. We've got the queen in the dummy. That's the only thing we're worried about. And now, when we play our last winner, and if this were a club contract, we'd be playing our last trump. We'd be playing Linus's security blanket here. West can't cope. Pitches the ace of diamonds, the queen's good. He pitches a spade, we lead the 8 to our ace, and the jack is good. Okay, so another squeeze. That's like 4 examples of squeezes in videos this week. And it's just, which is probably more than you usually see, honestly. But if you understand like kind of how this operates, we've got all the rest of the tricks but one, and we run our winners, including any trumps, like you're gonna see some incremental gains in the amount of tricks you take, just because of applying that technique. All right, so that's a squeeze. Board 14. Oh yeah, okay. East has a huge hand, opens a spade. I thought the right amount of diamonds to bid here was 4 diamonds. Again, keeping in line with the basically preempted the 4 level with 8 card suits and preempted the 3 level with 7 card suits and yada, yada, yada. So I bid 4 diamonds. It went pass, pass. East bid 4 hearts. Okay, another idea would be maybe a takeout double, but I don't want to do that with a void and have partner just sit for 4 diamonds a lot of times because he just can't do anything else. So East bid 4 hearts, and it went pass. And if you're West and you hear this auction, like, I realize you've only got a 6 count, but you've got an enormous hand for what's happened because you have 2 solid gold cards in the Queen of Hearts and the Ace of Clubs, and you also have 3 of partners trumps. So although I don't think we can do anything interesting yet, we should keep in mind that this is at the very top of our range for just taking a 4 spade preference. And actually, Bob White was able to get to the slam here. He went ahead and cubed 5 diamonds with the East hand, which seems a little bit pushy to me, honestly. Like, partner, you might not be safe at 5 spades. Like, you might just be losing 3 tricks here. And remember, partner hasn't shown anything on this auction. But I don't think 5 diamonds it's out of bounds or anything. I just think it's pretty aggressive, and we might not be able to survive the 5 level here. But for purposes of the point of this hand, which is you've got to appreciate that some 6 counts are ginormous. This 6 count that Wes holds now is an absolute rock crusher. Okay, you've always got to keep in mind, and I don't intend that pass. You've always got to keep in mind how strong is your hand represented. And here, Wes has done absolutely nothing to indicate that they have anything. And East is driving to the 11 trick level. You've got to be able to realize at this point that the Queen of Hearts, the Ace of Clubs, and 3 trumps is just golden. And we're bidding at least 6 spades and maybe even not giving up on a grand. But if I can get you to bid 6 spades here, that's you're gonna get a top board for bidding 6 spades. So yeah, that's a story about appreciating that 6 counts have grown into fire-breathing dragons. 15. Oh, partner did something kind of cute on this that I liked. West opened a club. Oop, 1 too many passes. West opened a club. It's a 14 count balance with 3-3 in the minors. The idea on those hands is to open your club suit, usually. And North has a problem, right? It's a decent hand. You feel like you want to act. takeout double isn't exactly the right idea with king jack third of clubs and only 2 small diamonds. If you wanted to make a takeout double, I think that's okay, but there are some flaws. What he chose to do was actually overcall the excellent 4-card heart suit. And again, this is lead directional and ace king queen 10. You know, if we're overcalling queen empty fifths sometimes, surely we can make a little bit of an exception and overcall ace king queen 10. That's what he chose to do here, and I like the creativity there. It went pass. I just raised to 2 hearts. I technically I've got 9 points, but it's sort of a hunk of junk. It's sort of balanced garbage with the opening bidder sitting on my left. Okay, so this could go pass, pass, and East should come back in with a takeout double here. I saw people selling out to 2 hearts. You don't want to do that. You don't want to let them play 2 hearts when they want to. Okay, so we need to come back in with a takeout double. And probably West would just bid 2 spades and they'd play their 4-3 fit, which makes, or South could get pushed to 3 hearts, which means that we've done our job. Like once we push them to the 3 level, we've done our job. Getting back to the idea of giving yourself multiple ways to win. When you balance with the East hand here with the takeout double, the multiple ways to win are we could bid 2 spades and make it. We could bid something and go down less than the value of their making part score. We could push them to the 3 level and beat them 1 instead of letting them make 2. Okay, that's 3 pretty good horses that you get to bet on if you don't sell out to 2 hearts here. 16. What do we have here? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll make a quick point about this one. Goes past a spade. Most East overcalled 2 diamonds. That's great, especially with the 6th diamond. You can get away with a lot of stuff when you've got a 6 card in your suit that you're overcalling at the 2 level. So I saw some Souths bidding 3 clubs here. The right idea instead is you want to express that you have hearts and clubs and you don't have enough values to bid 3 clubs. 3 clubs would be forcing, pretty much forcing the game, right? Since you're bidding a new suit at the 3 level. Use your negative double. Take out double. Emphasis on the unbid major. And what you don't have is both 5 hearts and 10 points. If you had both those requirements fulfilled, we'd be bidding 2 hearts. So when we double, it's talking about hearts, but it's saying I fail one or both of the litmus tests of a 5-card suit and 10 points that would be required for me to make a 2-heart call here. And we can't bid 3 clubs. It's just not enough hand. And 3 clubs is forcing. This one just went pass, and I opened 4 hearts with the South hand. Once my partner's a passed hand, I've got a little bit of shape and I'm short in spades. I'm just going to open 4 hearts. This happened to go down 1, and it was not a very good score for us. However, 4 hearts doubled is the par on this, I believe. Yeah, optimal contract is minus 100 for north-south. I don't know what this gobbledygook is here, but I think it's supposed to be a double. So let's quickly talk about par. Par is the contract where nobody can do any better. So let's talk about what that means. If north-south bids 3 hearts on this hand, right, which is a making contract, east-west has an answer to that, a parry. They could just bid 3 spades and make it. Well, then north-south can do better than accepting minus 140. They can bid 4 hearts because it's only going down 1. And even if they double, it's minus 100 instead of minus 140. And once north-south bids 4 hearts, the best response the east-west has is just to double and get 100 instead of 50. They can't make but 3 spades, right? So they can't bid anymore. The best thing that they've got left to do is double 4 hearts, beat it 100, and that's the concept of par. It's equilibrium. It's where no side can do any better than the contract that's currently being offered. Uh, 18 was this interesting. I don't know if it was interesting, but we'll try and give you an auction. How about a heart pass We have 2.5, 5.5, 7.5 losers. This looks like a 3-card invite to me. So if you are playing forcing no trump, the idea is you can bid 1 no with this hand. East would rebid 2 diamonds. And now on the back end, West could bid 3 hearts. This auction pattern shows 3 trumps, 3 hearts, and an invitational hand. Okay, and this is where you use your loser count. We have a spade, 2 clubs is 3, 2 diamonds is 5. I'm not going to, well, I'm not going to double count and give myself half a trick penalty for the queen of clubs. I'll go ahead and give myself a half a trick penalty for the queen of diamonds. So let's count 2.5 diamond losers, 2 clubs, 1 spade is 5.5. That's a trick and a half more than a minimum opening, and you should accept the invite by bidding 4 hearts. 3 more boards to go here. Hopefully this video won't break YouTube with its length. All right. Oh, right. Pass, 1 heart, double. It's probably not such a bad idea for East just to bid 4 hearts here. This 4 heart bid shouldn't be made on garbage with no shape because you are vulnerable against not vulnerable. Okay. And there's a saying that anytime you're in doubt, it's probably right to bid 4 spades over 4 hearts. So I think South has a pretty easy 4 spade call here. Remember, partner made a takeout double. We've got everything going in our favor. We've got the idea that bidding 4 spades over 4 hearts is usually right if it seems close, and we've got the vulnerability working in our favor. So we'll let that be the point about that one. 20. Was there anything interesting here? You have 1 spade, pass, 1 no trump. Looks like a pass to me. If you were playing 1 no trump is semi-forcing, this is the type of hand you would pass on the back end. If you're playing that 1 no trump is forcing, such the way we were on the last hand, the idea would to just rebid your club suit with only 3 of them. And then partner could probably go ahead and raise to 3 clubs, and the auction would be over. Something like that seems pretty reasonable. And on 21, there's one more fascinating thing, and then I'll shut up for this video. There's the idea of an uppercut on defense if East-West defends against a spade contract. So let's give you an auction. Let's say a spade, pass. Actually, let's talk about how it went at our table. So based on the vulnerability, I kind of like a 3-diamond call here, 3-diamond preempt. And as South now, I've got a little bit of a problem in that, you know, I wanted to maybe splinter and diamonds. The hand's actually kind of a little bit too good for that. But what I've got now is I want to tell partner I have slam interest and spade support, but you know they've already eaten a lot of my room here. Anyway, the way I can do this again is by Q-bidding their suit. And again, like logically, this commits us to game, so it's got to be sort of slam interested, not just game interested, like lower Q-bids where you're allowing your partner to potentially get out below game level. This one's kind of got to be slam interest. And my partner doesn't really have any slam interest with this type of holding. He's got a balanced minimum, and he's got the ace queen of diamonds, which, you know, you don't need those values to be wasted in the opponent's suits here. So he reasonably just signed off at 4 spades, and that was kind of the end of our night. All right, so anyway, hope you enjoyed this video on the review of the hands from Thursday, July 9th, common game hands. Showed you how to do the common game website and the Raleigh Bridge Club website. And again, there's that Bridge World website that I suggest as a resource to check, to do sanity checks on any of the bids that kind of come up. We talked about the defense to weak no trump on board 1. We talked about the concept of giving yourself 2 ways to win at the bridge table. Give yourself 2 possible good outcomes instead of putting all your eggs in one basket. That can come up in the auction. It can come up in the play, right? We talked about forcing passes. We talked about suit preference on defense. We talked about the hold-up play. There was a squeeze. There was the concept of bidding 4 spades over 4 hearts when you're in doubt. There's so much good stuff that comes up on 21 boards, guys. And I'm excited to have a forum like this to share this stuff with you. So until next time, take it easy, be safe, all that good stuff. And we will see you at the virtual tables. Have a good weekend.